So once you start getting on to the process of your tables, every table has some requirement that will be arising as per the state of the system. So you cannot say that all the tables can be created at a time. Even though we can create these tables in next 15-20 minutes in the classroom, we can say tables are completed. We can even pick up indexes in just 10 minutes and we can say indexes are completed. But you're never asked on, can you create an index? The question will be, why you should create that index only? Can you tell me the situations in which this index is suitable to your particular project? So when issue comes as per the requirement of the application, how many number of times you can give basic solutions? So you just leave which table I will create when, which index I will create in which situation. But now it's time to understand, for all these things to happen, how your Oracle is definitely promising an architecture that can be wonderful for the data storage with highest amount of security and scalability. So if we say that Oracle is giving all these kind of features and facilities, then definitely there should be some kind of architecture that is making Oracle to run with all these features and facilities. Now you may know all the commands in Oracle, you may know all the syntaxes, I'm not worried about that. But if a situation really arises where you need to go deep into the system by its architecture and you want to speak, then how many number of times we can just do that? Let me make you one thing very clear. As far as this market is concerned, architecture is not at all an important topic to discuss, because this market totally concentrates on syntax, definition and one example criteria. Now that is okay if you are writing any exams for your academics. If you are a student seriously from a university examination pattern, and after I complete this class you will go and start writing one examination, then the definition, syntax and one example pattern is always correct, because your target is to get good marks and you will get them. But I am consciously very clear that you people are not attempting any university examinations after this class is completed. You are definitely trying to move into the industry and try to provide solutions absolutely as industry demands from you. So such kind of learning pattern will not help you at any point of time. So you need to know architecture by at least 30 to 40%. So why I need to know my architecture? I am a client, I'll keep a problem in front of you. I don't tell you how you should develop the solution. As a client, I will never tell you what system you should use. As a client, I will never tell you what network you have to follow. As a client, I'll never tell you what software you have to implement. As a client, I'll never tell you what is the mechanism you have to adapt to complete that particular task. As a client, my job is only to put the problem in front of you and expect the best solution out of it. Now, being a person who says you are a database management system developer, how many times you can propose the best architecture that is essential to get my problem to become a solution? Rather than you are saying that if somebody is establishing the architecture, I am ready to work, everybody is saying the same thing then. Everybody is saying that you give me a keyboard, I will write the program, but nobody is saying that I will sit and analyze and architect the problem. Today the problem of Indian IT industry is this. Everybody wants to be a developer, nobody wants to be an analyst, architect and solution provider. Therefore you are standing in the line of becoming a programmer, but every single job 1000 people are available. Do you want to struggle with the remaining 999 people? You just think about it. You are standing in the line of, I can think in analysis and I can get through the requirements, I can design the process, I can understand the architecture, then I can give the solution. For every one single position, I am telling you, not even one person is available in this space. So what you should do as a developer, definitely our course will teach us. Along with that, how many times you can understand architecture and analysis to do an Oracle project. So whenever I am speaking about architectural implementations, absolute concentration should be there from your side. You keep your heads down and you just think something else, I am not the responsibility for that. Every single diagram what I am giving on the screen It is definitely going to be passed into your mailboxes. I don't want any photographers, videographers in my class taking the diagrams from your mobile phones, okay? If that is happening, I'll make all the mobile phones be kept into the air cooler after you come inside. Be very clear about it. Else you should keep your mobiles outside and come inside. If my mobile is gone, you're also gone, finish. So no photographers in my class. Because everything will be shared to you, and I don't want your photography to be a disturbance to other people, because we don't want to see the photographer's face once again. So concentrate on the screen very seriously as I am going through my steps. Every piece of the point will be part of your mailboxes. But we don't promise you that immediately next day only we'll do the job for you. We will do it on a priority. But you will never miss anything that is being spoken in this particular class. Every point we are speaking, you have to catch, keep it in your mind, and also parallelly, I'm expecting that you're recording the sessions which are audio based. If you are not recording, that's your problem, because we don't supply any audio records to anybody. We give you the facility to audio record using your mobile phones without disturbing the other people. Why? Because certain sessions you have to listen again and again for more than 10 times. Each time you listen, each time you will get one new idea automatically from your side. So make a self-arranged architecture from your side. Now I'm into my process now. The next half an hour is very important for me. It's important for you or not, you can decide that, okay? So when I say it's important for me, now you can decide it's important for you or not. I don't want to speak about you now. My first question to you before I'm starting is Oracle is a software or it's a database? What do you feel actually? Oracle is a software. Then what is database? I'm asking, is Oracle is a software or a database? I don't want the definition of database. You believe Oracle is a software or Oracle is a database? Software. Then what is database? So you believe that Oracle is not a database? You believe that Oracle is not a database? Yes. Then why we are doing database? So this is a $100 question which is never answered when we ask the students in the interview rooms or when they are part of the systems. It's not only you, even after learning the entire course also, there are many number of students who have their own confusion. Few believe Oracle is a software, few believe Oracle is a database. But finally what it is? We are saying definitely that we are learning Oracle as a database management system software. Then what is the software, what is the database? So the simple thing you should understand about Oracle is a very beautiful composition. Oracle, by installation, it is a software. By configuration, it becomes a database. There are two compositions in Oracle. So first you should install Oracle on your machine. When you are installing Oracle on your machine, it behaves like a software. Once installation is completed, we have to start one process in Oracle that is called as configuration process. By configuration, Oracle becomes a database on your system. So, Oracle is a database after configuration. Both the installation and configuration, your database administrators are doing in your industries. As a developer, you do not do any of these two things. First understand this. So when my administrator does these two steps, why I should be worried about it? Definitely you should be worried about knowing this. You don't need to implement these steps, but you should understand what is happening at your administrative level. Because for every activity you do in your database as a developer, your activities are controlled by your database administrators. So, database administrators and developers are always in tight synchronization in their professional career. So, as a developer, you should know if something is not happening, is it your mistake or is it a restriction from the administration? Else you will never know why that work is not getting completed. Therefore, an administrator should know 100% of the Oracle's architecture, no doubt about it. Not only that, an administrator should know, an Oracle database administrator should know not only Oracle's administration architecture, not only Oracle's internal architecture, he should also know at least minimum 3 to 4 operating system architectures also, and he should be a good specialist in networking architecture also. If all these things are put together, one good database administrator will come into the market. Anyhow, our contract in this class is not definitely administration, so we are not worried about that. As a developer, we are in the contract of developers. When we are working in the contract of developers, you should be 100% sure about development activities, no doubt about it, and that anyhow we are taking responsibility. Let us not worry about that immediately. Along with that, we should at least know 40% of the administration activities that are done by the administrator, even though we do not do those activities. Why? Because my day in, day out of my career in database as a developer will somewhere expect communication with my DBA. So when I am communicating with my DBA, I do not know what is the state of the communication I should establish with him. My DBA cannot give me any good services. So when you are going and asking DBA, you should know what to ask him. Else DBA says, make yourself clear and come back to me. Without you don't have any clarity, I cannot give my services. So majority of the time, after you get into the industry, especially people giving fake experience, I want to tell you only one thing. Before you leave the classroom, do you know what is the fundamental communication standard within the industry when you are working in database projects? Because you have never done any project, you are keeping 2 years or 3 years experience. After you get inside, you should know how to communicate, else you cannot work. So, how much of this Oracle's architecture you understand by your fine level of ability, I am not bothered. But what I am saying, at least by its fundamentals, it should go and fit in your brain. So, as and when I speak on the rule of architecture, you should keep more concentration, because these are the things that will make you 40% very different from the remaining people who are there in the markets who do Oracle database as only developers. They don't have the other technicalities. There you will cut them, throw them aside, take your jobs, and you will go inside. So, let us first understand the Oracle style for data storage. Whenever you come into the Oracle's environment, there are very few fundamental things it says. All the logical structures in Oracle database must be stored within the Oracle database only. What Oracle basically says is, anything you feel that it is the data that should be operated for your business, the data should be binding to the logical structure of my architecture. Oracle can never understand your business. As a developer, after analyzing the business, you should make your business structures to get converted into Oracle's architectural structures. So what Oracle is saying is, keep all your data structures that are essential to conduct your business within the Oracle database only. Keeping anything outside Oracle database, don't expect me to give security and scalability. So if you think that in your business this is something that should be part of the Oracle, you should know as a developer how to make that part of the Oracle's architecture. The moment you make it part of the Oracle's architecture, Oracle takes the responsibility for its security, scalability, reliability, and all XYZ features that you are expecting. So Oracle's simple principle is, you make anything that demands, or you make anything that dominates your business to be part of my architecture. You please make it part of my system, into my environment, then I will operate on that. That's the only reason every Oracle developer should know how the business oriented structure can become part of the Oracle's logical structure. Therefore, if I tell you please create a table, You can create it, but that's not the correct way. I'm telling you, because I said you cannot do anything. You should know the reason of why I am telling you to do it. Without reason, we are not going to make a move anywhere. Second, within Oracle database, we can have only one database application or any number of database applications. Any number of database applications. Each application will be having its own structures for data storage or not? Yes. Then how Oracle can remember which structure of the data will belong to which particular application, for which user, for which purpose? Second, Oracle is managing your structures means Oracle is internally having its own architecture which manages its structure also to keep itself as a database compulsorily. Then one of the questions that arises is how Oracle can differentiate between one object to another object whenever you are operating in Oracle and give you services. So this is the area where we should be very, very careful. Oracle maintains its own data dictionary. Oracle will maintain its own data dictionary, which is also called as catalog. Or in technical terms, you can say Oracle has its own metadata architecture. All the objects that you are creating from your business environment to represent your business data, and it has to be maintained in Oracle's environment. Oracle stores and stocks them in its own data dictionary areas. So Oracle maintains a data dictionary which records metadata about all the database objects. Means your tables, your indexes, your views, your synonyms, your procedures, whatever you learn in this class and you're leaving, for every database object you created, Oracle has its own data dictionary internally. Because of that, when you're requesting anything in Oracle, it knows this kind of object can be available in which particular data dictionary, and it will get you that automatically. So we work totally in Oracle only with reference of the object names. We don't work in Oracle by providing any physical addresses. We don't provide anything in Oracle with physical path. Everything what we provide in Oracle is an object name, and we just complete that particular task. Because Oracle has its own catalog in which it registers everything that you are going to operate. So these database objects, when they become part of Oracle's environment, they will get some physical storage space. Means nothing in Oracle, nothing in your business can get a space in the Oracle's environment until you don't make that become part of the Oracle databases. So the database objects, whichever are becoming part of the Oracle's architecture, they are getting the physical storage space on your computer. But these database objects which need this physical storage space on your computer system, they are allocated space in a special kind of database object once again, which is called as table space. Therefore, if anybody says that my data is occupying disk space in Oracle, it's a wrong terminology. Any data should be in the disk only, but an Oracle developer never sees anything like a disk. We see anything in the form of what? Table space. So, every object in Oracle, you like or you do not like, it becomes automatically registered for space within an object called as what? Table space. What is this table space now? Table space is one kind of logical storage unit which is designed, architected and signatured by Oracle database. And this table space is not directly visible upon the actual file system of the operating system on the machine on which the Oracle database is residing. The most beautiful concept what Oracle provides you is, your Oracle is in one X machine. Your table space is registered in that particular machine, let us say. but its a data file, what it is operating can be in any machine in the world. So Oracle purely follows a remote space management architecture that is 100% proposed and implemented by Unix and Linux-like architectures with a concept called as file systems. Therefore, a person who understands the Linux or Unix architecture very seriously, that person always feels much comfortable in understanding the Oracle's architecture very easily. These are all correlations. That's the reason you cannot be a successful database administrator if you do not have great knowledge in the Unix file system management and its administration. Administrators need some additional skill sets which majority of the time they may not be aware until they don't jump into their career and they just feel the requirements. So anyhow, we are not administrators, but we should always understand certain things what administrators are doing. So these table spaces are logical storage units of Oracle's environment where these table spaces are not directly visible on your particular computer system where your Oracle database is existing. So you cannot see table space like a physical unit. Once you get connected to Oracle, if you are having permissions, then table space can also be seen in the form of an object only. So physically where is table space? No, we can't know. Why? Because Oracle hides all this process for you. Behind the table space, what will be there now? Behind the table space, Oracle will be hiding the physical data files. Behind the table spaces, Oracle will be hiding the physical data files in which your actual data is available. Finally, the data is available where? File. But these files are abstracted by table spaces. Table spaces are abstracted by Oracle's database. Database is abstracting the users. Users are abstracting the tables. Tables are abstracting the columns. Columns are abstracting the values. It's a very high-level object-oriented integration what Oracle develops. Therefore, we always feel as a developer, my data is in the table. But actually your data is not in the table. Your data is allocated to one of the table space, where table space is allocating this data to one of the data file, where the data file is existing in which location, in which drive, on which file system. As a developer, we will never know. Administrator can know the physical location of the data files. But the beauty here is, administrators cannot do any operations on the data file directly. If they want to do any operations on the data file, they have to do the operation by executing SQL commands provided by Oracle by contacting the table space only. Table space is the only authority that always goes and communicates with your data files. Nobody, including the highest level administrator, also can never communicate with the data file directly. So, Oracle has built its architecture sufficiently in a best way. For the next few minutes, if you are just following along with me, you will catch the fundamental state of the Oracle, how it builds its architecture that goes especially very secure, and it is promising that the data once pushed into Oracle's database is highly private and it is absolutely not lost at any point of time. Now, to install your Oracle as a software, we definitely need an operating system, or we don't need an operating system? We need an operating system. So, if operating system is not supporting you, I don't think Oracle as a database can exist. Yes or no? Definitely not. So, let us understand few things on the OS side now. Now, for students who are non-IT, the students who have basically non-engineering backgrounds, other than computer sciences and IT, you have to keep 200% concentration on certain things what I am speaking with you. One thing will happen definitely, man. After you listen all these things, you are definitely speaking with one of your friend or somebody who could have already learned Oracle or is learning Oracle elsewhere. Out of every 10 people, 8 people will tell you, you don't need all these things. Now, believing, not believing is your headache. What I feel that a student should definitely know before he comes into the industry, I will speak everything on that. So, syllabus is mine, syllabus is not yours. Remember that. Sir, why I should follow your syllabus? There are no reasons when you accepted and you have to follow that, that's all. Why? Because finally, I am sending you into the industry. I am not sending you into one college. First understand that. So when you want to come into the industry, what I am expecting in my company from my colleagues who are working with me, that only I will expect from you. So, be very clear about one point. It's not exaggeration. Sitting in front of you, I am a trainer. I have my own company. I have my own team. We work with our projects. We analyze it. I do recruit people into my company. When somebody sits in front of me, what I expect from him as a database developer, the same thing I have to give you when you go to another company. That's my intention. By your sense, I am sitting as a trainer here. By profession, I am not a trainer. Okay? By passion, I am a trainer. So, what you need is some topics of database. What I need from you is solutions out of database. So when I am saying something, anytime you feel that this is not necessary for me, I am giving you an offer now. Okay? Keep two earbuds always in your hands. Okay? Cotton buds. Keep them in your ears. Close your eyes and sleep. Tell your neighbor, ये topic खत्म होने के बाद उठा देना. Okay? I will give you the offer, don't worry. But you listen, you do not listen, I don't care. What I will say, that's it. Because what I expect when somebody works under me as a database developer, I know very well. So, you be very clear from your side, okay? 60% of what we discuss in our entire course, when you speak with normal people, they'll say, itna zaruri nahi hai. So I'll consider all the 60% people, they do not know anything what industry needs. They are doing general tamasha in the market, behaving as if they are learning databases. I'm not ready to compete with any such kind of people, and I don't like my students to compete with such people also. So be very clear from your side now, okay? So your BCom, MCom, MBA, MA, anything, I don't care. You want an IT job in database, you should know these things. Nobody is telling you to develop an operating system. I am telling you understand few fundamentals of operating system. That is what I am expecting from you. So, consciousness is yours, not mine. Be very clear about that construct. Okay? Before you leave this class, how much technically you want to leave, you have to decide that. So, in a business, there is always one formula. Okay? We are in a business only. I am in the place of workman, vendor. You are in the place of buyer. Vendor always has one psychology. What is that? More profit with least cost. Okay, vendor always has only one thing in his mind. I have to make more profit with least investment. And buyer should always one particular intelligence. What is that? With low payment, I should get the maximum out of it. So sitting on that side, now what is your formula? I don't know. Okay? But as a vendor, if you ask me, my formula will be why I should give my whole experience to these people, which is gained in 22 years. 22 years I struggled, man. I'm struggling even today. Okay? Working for maximum 16 hours a day. Why I should share all my 16 hours of my experience multiplied by 365 days into 22 years with you in just 3 months. I should not share. That should be my selfishness. Now your selfishness should be, I will sit with this person for only 3 to 4 months and I'll squeeze all the 22 years of experience from this guy and I'll go out of this class. Now let us see who will win. Okay? It's a game now. Let us see who will win. Definitely I will think that I have to win, not to share everything with you. Sir, it is injustice. Nothing, man. In Amirpet everything is justice only. Got it? In Amirpet, everything is justice only. The justice in Amirpet is 3 दिन का क्लास ठीक से चलाओ, चौथा दिन फीस पे करो, 5वां दिन से क्लास बंक मारो. Okay, from 5th day you don't need to teach anything. So, I am definitely having a vendor mind here now. Okay, I am not having a social service mind here. So my vendor mind says, don't give everything to these people. Now you think from your side how much you are the best buyer now. Okay, you act like a best buyer to make the vendor to release whatever he has now. That's what I said. 9 o'clock I should get motivated that I have to give my experience to you. So you start motivating me now. Let me see. Okay, my motivation you don't worry about that. So I'll also, that's very clear and fair. I'm telling you, it's not critically going to be happening from a human being that he shares all his 22 years experience with one person directly. Let us hope so. Okay, I will share. I don't promise you. So we need what? Operating system to start now. Now let us understand one side of the operating system first of all. When you are just part of the operating system, any software you install, it should be under the control of OS or above the control of OS. Under the control of OS. So database management system software is also under the control of OS only. It cannot do anything above OS. But when any software can do something above OS, that is great software. Very clear about that. See, when I think that you cannot run, and I am definitely saying that you can never run, and you run and show me, that's greatness. Oracle is a database that works with such kind of ability. That's the reason 40 years down the line, no competitor for Oracle database. Sir, how some software can work beyond an operating system? We are not working beyond the operating system, but we take the services with extensions what operating system cannot provide. That's where Oracle's beauty lies. Means we are in its control, but we work as if we are above that particular control. Means we simulate, virtualize, and we work. That's where in Oracle's database software's adaptance will exist. So when you are coming into Oracle's environment, within the Oracle, everything is what? A database object. So anything Oracle thinks that it is my object, Oracle keeps that object in its control and then gives that object to operating system. It never releases any object directly to OS. Finally, every object should be given to OS only. OS should release this object to storage. OS should definitely release this object to storage. And so how you can make that object to be permanent? But Oracle, what it says is, first you register the object with me. Let me signature the object first of all. Then after I signature the object in my architecture, how I will give this object to operating system, you don't worry now. That is not your botheration. Now how operating system will give this object to the device, that is not your botheration once again. Means what is happening in the background of the physical architecture, as a developer you don't worry about that, as an administrator also you don't worry about that. That's what Oracle says. So finally, anything you feel that it's permanent and it should be permanent in your application, you plan how you can make that become an object in my database. So now let us finalize one point in our entire agenda. Sitting in this class, finally, we are going for which responsibility now? We should only understand how we can make any business-oriented information become Oracle database object. That's all. Up to there, if we can understand, our job is completed. From there, how Oracle will do what in operating system and how it will do, that's none of our business. But if we can know at least 10% of what is happening behind this database, that is where our strength is going to be good when compared with other people. Now once these things are becoming database objects, what happens now? Watch carefully. These all database objects have to be manipulated. Now I have to contact this database object. So to contact the database objects, there should be some kind of interface of communication now. Do you agree with me? So all the business data collected from the database management system softwares can be communicated in Oracle by using one language called as SQL star plus and PLSQL. So Oracle is providing you one facility of one language called as SQL star plus and another one as what? PLSQL, using which you can always communicate with its database objects. So why you are sitting in this class since few days? Now I think our agenda is becoming clear now. So if any student is asking me, sir, why I should learn SQL star plus? Now there can be many number of answers we can give. The only answer I will tell you is to communicate with your database objects. You don't know SQL star plus, you cannot communicate with database objects. Means your communication as a developer to the database will be lost if you don't know SQL. Now how best you know SQL? Depending on that, your ability to communicate will increase. Anything that is not possible by SQL, you will extend that using PLSQL. I want to communicate with my database objects more intelligently, more dynamically than PLSQL. PLSQL goes and communicates with SQL. Be very, very clear about that. And your SQL goes and communicates with your database objects. This is our entire cycle by the time we complete our course. They were sitting in this class, how best do you understand that particular cycle and come up with solution based thinking? Only time will tell you. See, your whole investment is time, I am telling you. Money you are investing, I am not bothered about that. But you don't invest your time, you cannot get the experience and exposure of the knowledge. See, knowledge is the only one thing, man, and experience is the second thing. You cannot purchase anytime. So try to understand. Sir, I want to become the next Olympian, fastest runner and win the gold. I cannot tell you, give me 10 crores, I will make you win. Believing is your problem, and making you becoming like that is basically your issue. It can't happen. If that is clear, Ambani's son will become winner of all gold medals of all sports in all Olympics. So, the more faster you can understand that these things are better. So, the more you give me the time, the best I can give you the career. Be very clear about that. So, within this Oracle's environment, we have one set of objects called as what? Table spaces. So, we are never keeping any of our data directly in the OS. We fix our data definitely in the form of files, but we see the data in the form of what? Table space. A table space is a collection of data files. A table space is always a collection of data files. How many? There is no limit here. That's what I am saying. There is one personality by name, database administrator, who will take the responsibility. How he is doing this, you don't need to worry, but what he is doing, you should know, because you are a developer. So this table space is actually the logical unit which we believe that it is storing our data permanently in the system. Therefore, if any database developer says that my data is in the file, by physical sense he is correct, but by logical sense he is wrong. That's all. Are you catching the point now? So my data is in the form of a data file. By physical sense is correct, but by logical sense of database is wrong. So when your interviewer is asking the question, is he asking the question on physical sense or logical sense? You should differentiate that. And then you should give answers, else you will lose your marks. On the other side, these table spaces cannot be contacted directly. So, within your database management systems, we have one view called as DBA's view. So, table space is totally whose view? DBA's view. So, its internal physical architecture and everything is database administrator's view. We just need to have a general idea on that, don't worry about it. But we are what? We are what? Developers. We are developers. So, developer's view is what now? So, a developer always keeps his data in the form of tables. He'll keep all his data in the form of indexes. He'll keep his data in the form of views. He'll keep his data in the form of sequences. He'll keep the data in the form of synonyms. Means, as a developer, we should learn these things now. Each one is having one fundamental requirement which it will execute in the system. There's one special kind of fundamental requirement with which it will be executing in the system. So as a developer, only having this view is enough for us. But all the people are keeping experience in the industry. You're keeping experience when you're coming in the industry. You already said that you have been working in the industry since last 3 years now. In 3 years, you are definitely speaking every day with one operating system administrator, one networking guy, some XYZ people in your day-to-day life, yes or no? So at least you may not know how to do that work, but at least you should know what they are doing in that particular work. If a fresher doesn't have this information on that side, it's not a problem. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, 60% students who attend my sessions are people trying to keep experience in your resume now. So you should know how to prove that you are really experienced. So I'm not telling you to do this, but what I'm trying to tell you is, understand that even though you are working here as a database developer on the right side, somebody as a DBA is working for your platform and architecture on the other side. So as a developer, this is your view. All the students who learn Oracle, they definitely come perfectly with this, not only you. But when you are sitting in front of interviewer, how many times if a requirement comes and is asking you something that needs at least 2% answer from this side, and you can give, your life is done. That day you are the first person to be signed with the offer letters. So that extra 2% I always tell you to gain, that's all. Are you catching on that extra 2% burden we'll be having in this class? You like or you do not like, you have to take it. Like all the other developers, we will also learn, that's not an issue. But what is that extra we will adapt and we will try to pick up, we'll think more properly, is the area where our success begins. So, once you take your Oracle database, this is the most fundamental idea of Oracle's database arrangement. I didn't go too deep into it. I'll definitely expose the things by going with different chapters. As I'm going in my different chapters, we'll go for a greater of exposure. But let us be very simple at this level. And between the developers and the DBA's view, there should be an integrated communication. So, a good DBA should also know how to communicate with the developers. Because DBA cannot do anything perfectly until he doesn't know what the developer is expecting from his project. A good developer should also know how to communicate with the DBA, because certain things what he needs here, only DBA can provide him. So he should know how to put that indent of request. If this communication is missing between the database administrators and the DBAs, database administrators and the developers, the project finally, when it is going for deployment, it will fail. 80% of the projects, they will see nightmares in deployments, I'm telling you. Why it happens is, it's non-synchronization between these two teams. Your DBA is not having great clarity. Let us hope so. You will have, but we can't say everybody can have. If imagine you are in one project, your DBA is not having great clarity. As a developer, if you can give him inputs saying that you don't do the work, but you say, sir, for this object I need this, maybe it can be done like this. These inputs, if you give, your DBA can start rolling on. And because of your inputs, you made your DBA's ability to get implemented and you made the project to go for success. See, finally one thing, man. The problem of the world, I'll tell you, you have written 1,000 programs, logically tested, everything happens perfectly, man. Finally, who is that guy who can make that button to be clicked and application to start? He is a hero, that's it. All the other people are forgotten. You just think in any particular construction, a civil engineering dam is constructed by so many laborers and everything, that the useless politician will come and press the button. All media is in that useless fellow only. Nobody will remember that behind engineers, architects, so many people. This guy comes 1 minute before, presses the button and he go away. I always feel like he should get 220 volt shock and he should die there. Because all the remaining people are never known. World is like that. Therefore, in your project, all are working. Somewhere in the project, when some problem arises and the project never goes, there you come and put your finger and do like this. It happens. You are the hero. Finish. Client will immediately contact the company and says, in my every project I want that guy to be there. And you tell your company, I'm resigning. Company says, yaar, mat jao, project nahi dega. The client says, if he goes, project is gone, finished. I'm not going to give you. That's what I'm saying. How many times you can make yourself get identified that you are the single standing pillar in your project. That day, you will always see and you will always say IT is not insecure, okay? Many people doesn't know how to make it secure. So, take that 20% of the information to be with you, even though you're 100% here, don't worry. I'll make you best here. But that 20% you have to always capture whatever I'm trying to say. All this together is one basic architecture now. It's just one basic architecture. But behind this, there's a great work that's happening. It's not as simple as we see here now. So this storage, it has to be more robust and it should be more reliable. What are the remaining things what Oracle is doing? That's where we are going to start, and we are going to understand many things in the process when we are communicating with the constructs. So if you can understand all these components in a proper order and style, that's your Oracle database. My total agenda of my course architecturally, administratively and by development will be clear in tomorrow's session. So, I will only say one thing, man. Along with you 10 people are attending the interviews. What is that 1% extra you can speak than the remaining 9 people? Your job is yours. That 1% extra what you need to crack yourself to be the best in the interview, I'll supply that extra 1%, you take it. Remaining 99% anybody will give you in the world, I should also give you, that's all. But that extra 1% will be not that easy. I'll definitely put great pressure on your body. You have to be ready for it, I'm telling you. So, tomorrow when we are meeting with one another, we'll go one step more further and we'll see how Oracle establishes itself as a database. And after that, like everybody, we'll also have some commands, select, insert, update, delete, 2 commas, 1 semicolon, brackets, everything will be there. Let us not worry about that. Thank you once again, with you tomorrow.